It's finally here. Hard Merchandise. The End of the Bounty Hunter Wars by K.W. Jeter. What even happens in this book? Not a lot, but a little more than last time. So, Neela's identity is revealed, and spoilers, she's tied to the Kuwati families and thus to Kuwat drive yards. And most of this book is trying to figure out how she is related to that, and her plot revolves around that. But spoilers, Neela really doesn't do anything once again. Dengar also doesn't really do anything. Boba Fett in the present needs Kadarma Bat to tell him what he needs to know about Neela. But in the past, spoilers, Kadarma Bat died. I mean, this has been foreshadowed since book 1, right? It finally happens. And we have to do this Frankenstein's monster plot to get Kadarma Bat back to life, but it's utterly pointless because Balance Sheet tells them what they need to do, and they essentially have to go to Boba Fett has to go to Tatooine to get information from Bossk that was fabricated by Kuwat drive yards to frame Prince Xezer with the deaths of Owen and Beru Lars. Because Kuwat had this emergency plot to get Prince Xezer out of the way so he could save Kuwat drive yards, and it kind of falls flat in his face, and it's a whole thing. Meanwhile, the rebellion is trying to get control of Kuwat drive yards as well. Also, Zuckuss and 4-LOM are in here for no real apparent reason other than to reference of possible futures, which I believe was their short story in Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Also, the prize pelt is referenced, which was Bossk's story by Kathleen Tyers. So, what did I think of Hard Merchandise? It is boring. I had to force read this, and I don't like doing that. So, there is no good audiobook, because sometimes when you have a really bad book, listening to it makes it slightly better than reading it. Fulcrum Entertainment did 4 of 10 parts of this series, so only like the first 5 chapters, maybe 6, are they're in this, like, in the Fulcrum Entertainment format. Because they did audiobooks for the first 2 Bounty Hunter Wars books, but it's like they do one every couple years now. And they have been working on this one for, like, I think almost 2 years at this point. And so I doubt they'll ever finish it, especially with the audiobook apocalypse that seems to be upon YouTube now. Anyway, Hidden Gems has a full audiobook, and it is ghastly, and I would not recommend it to anyone. Almost every word seems to be pronounced wrong. Every name is pronounced wrong, which I think goes with the territory, but the way it's formatted, it's so bad, it was hard to figure out what was even being said. So I ended up getting the Kindle edition and listening to the Kindle AI read it, and then intermixing it with my reading of it on my breaks at work. So that's how I got through Hard Merchandise within a couple days. Because I wasn't going to spend any more time on that. I nearly gave up on this book several times. It's boring. Is it the worst Star Wars book, and is it a throwable book? Because there is a review where this book is comically thrown into like a door or something. I can't remember. I don't think it's door throw worthy. There are worse books that have Star Wars in the title. I mean, it's not Legacy of the Force. It didn't hurt my brain. It was just boring. It's also not like the Disney canon stuff, where the Disney produced Star Wars books are regularly throwable books. Throw them in the garbage, try to flush them down the toilet, but it clogs your toilet. Things, or even like the new Marvel Star Wars comics, those are piles of feces too. This isn't, I wouldn't say this is a pile of feces. This is just boring, and it stems from the should have been one book. If this were one book, it would have probably been an awesome book that we would hold in high regard, like we do Courtship of Princess Leia or Shadows of the Empire. I mean, it wants to be Shadows of the Empire. It's not. It's nowhere near close to that. This, you cut out like a good half of the dialogue because it's circular talking, especially this book. It takes forever to get anywhere because K.W. Jeter clearly got written. He got paid for writing by the word, rather than for writing a book. So it's repetitive and obnoxious, and this is the third time in a row we've had that, and it just makes this book pretty insufferable. Would I read this again? No. I don't think I ever would read the Bounty Hunter Wars again. The irony is that you can still get the Barnes & Noble fake leather-bound version of the Bounty Hunter Wars for like $45 if you really wanted to. I don't. It's actually the only one of those Star Wars like fake leather-bound Barnes & Noble exclusive hardcovers I don't own, because this trilogy is really bad. They solely did it to tie into the Book of Boba Fett. That was the only reason they did it, because they also did a weird 2-in-1 of Approaching Storm and Kenobi to tie into the Obi-Wan show. They did the A.C. Crispin Han Solo books for Solo, a Star Wars story. It's just weird. It's weird what they've like cherry picked for that. But yeah, I don't imagine this is sold particularly well. I still have my book club edition one, which has seen better days, and the binding's not the best, but like I'm not really gonna probably reread this ever again. So it'll be nice on a shelf. It'll be nice. It'd be a fine addition to my collection. What would I rank this rank book? Let's see what I did there. I'd probably give it like a 2.3 out of 5. It's pretty boring. I'd rather watch paint dry on a wall. Or watch someone muck spread on a wall, I suppose. That would be interesting, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm being a quote-unquote shit talker, but here I am. Anyway, what did you expect? What did you expect from a hard merchandise review? It gives me nothing to work with. It's a little better than Slave Ship in the regards that it actually retcons and references the EU, but because it's been ignoring that, it's kind of funky to go back to the EU. It's like, so what the Holocron is like, well, we need to start making sense of these books. They've like put in all this continuity that just doesn't make sense with the other two books. So, anyway, have a nice day.